Hello everybody, my name is Michael. You know me as Coding Jungle, and today I want to explain the legacy view in Babble 3.0. Now, some of you might have watched some of my other videos. You might have seen me using the chat bar, but this one's going to be exclusive to the legacy view. And what I mean by legacy view, there is I want to compare it here with Babble 2.0. Now, what I mean by legacy view, I've tried to match this style, message box, the chat area, the online list. I've tried to match the style as best I can within the scope of Babble 3, to trying to keep all the new features in Babble 3 in mind and make it look like Babble 2 to the best of my, within reason. One thing you'll notice is that the big difference between 2 and 3 here is that in 2 the rooms were individual. Like, if I think I only have the one room here, but let's go create another room real fast. It's not that hard to create a room. If I could find Babble, I need to change its icon. I need to make it something else. Because I'm always coming here. I'm like, it's not down there, it's over here. Anyway, let's create a second room. No, we don't want to call it Michael. I'm not a narcissist. Alright, demo 2. Create it. Let's give it all the settings. Like I said, it is a dev, so I don't really care who has settings. Alright, let's create the second room over here too. Let's call it demo 2. Save. Let's give them all the permissions, and let's come back over here and hit refresh. Alright, now in Babble 2, if you come over here, like, it's more or less the same kind of concept, but where in Babble 3, these rooms are active. If you can see them, they're active. So if I was to come over here to Awesome Tucker, and even though I haven't opened up demo 2, I have over here, and I type hi, you'll get a notification. Now, the room isn't technically loaded yet, but if we click on it, it loads the room and the message and all that, and then I can reply. Now, in Babble 3 here, or 2 here, that's not an option. Basically, here, each room is loaded independent of each other. Like here in the widget, it's just the one room. Like you actually have to tell it which room to load. Like we got demo room, we can select demo 2, and then you have various options and visibility and all that stuff. Which visibility for some reason doesn't have any settings. But yeah, you get the idea. And if we were on the Babble page itself, then we get this nice little menu here. And if you had MGM and you had attached children, I think it's called, to Babble, then you would be able to, from the menu, access its rooms. But here in Babble 3, all the rooms are loaded and they're displayed here in the room bar, I guess you can call it. But you still have like your, you can collapse your online list. You still have the settings button. They open a little bit differently. Like this one is part of the Babble framework. It doesn't open up in an IPS dialog. It opens up in a Babble dialog, which is a custom code for 3. So that's what I mean by that. Like if I was to switch rooms, I would disconnect from demo and then I would connect to demo 2. But here, you're connected to both at the same time, more or less. All right, so that is the chat in the legacy mode. In legacy mode, you get the menu item if you want, and you also get the option of the widget. Like if we were to go to the the Babble page, it's more or less the same. It looks more or less the same as the widget. The only difference is on this widget, you can collapse. On 2's widget, you can collapse it. On this one, if it's the widget, I do plan on adding that feature back in, kind of like with the chat bar. You click this and it will minimize it like it does here. But that feature hasn't been implemented yet. I just wanted to show you the differences between. Well, I wanted to show off the legacy view to ease people's concerns that they don't like the chat bar. I know there's going to be a lot of people who dislike the chat bar. That's why the legacy view exists. And believe it or not, the code's almost virtually identical. There are some changes that have been added, some CSS. It's mostly CSS, some JavaScript, but it's basically the same thing. If I click this, it's actually loading, instead of loading the window in its own window, it's loading it in this section here. So, there is that. There's also a lot of mobile improvements for this view. Like, I'll show you what I mean. Move that back over to the side. Let's go into mobile view, refresh. The room list now becomes this drop down, and then you can just switch between the two. The online list is its own thing, because if we look at the mobile view over here, Babble's not really, I mean, it is mobile. I don't want to say it's mobile friendly. It's cordial. I've done my best, but the overall design kind of escaped me on that. But you can see some legacy ideas here, like the if the chat bar, or not chat bar, but send button is enabled. Where did my, always something with this, isn't it? Problem 492 for today. But if I had the send bar enabled, it would be underneath here. It wouldn't say send, it would just show the arrow or envelope or paper airplane, whatever that is. But they're more or less, they look a lot alike. If we went to the Babble page, we would have the, I guess you could say the menu thing, the menu for the rooms. But again, unlike in 3, where you're connected technically to all the rooms that you have on display, here you'd only be connected to the one that is actually being displayed. It would reload the page, but here it doesn't. It loads the room up, but that's all it does. As you can see, they are 2 different rooms. All right, like I said, if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one.